Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today it is one of those real life days here at Creekside Nursery in Dallas, North Carolina. It is a all hands on deck, multiple projects happening here at the nursery. So we got a lot of fun things happening. Mainly the one that I am super excited about. We are going to replant the 8 hay racks here at the garden center, get them ready for spring. We are just jumping in with both feet and going to plant these with gorgeous proven winter annuals that can tolerate nice, cool, fluctuating temperatures in spring. It is going to be an explosion of color. So we're doing that. My boys are, they're not doing it right now, but they're back there. They're going to begin chopping up the massive oak tree that fell last week. It is all up in the grass, and so we have got to get it out of the garden. So we'll check in on them. And then last but not least, we have a plant delivery coming sometime today with some gorgeous perennials and shrubs for our customers here at the garden center. So it is going to be a full day for sure. First, let's go check in so we can see the before of this tree, and then we'll come back and just really briefly talk about the annuals and the plan for attacking these hay racks. A week ago this morning, we discovered that we had this huge massive oak tree that had fallen during the night. We had had some wind that night and it uprooted and it fell into the garden. Miraculously, it did not take out any plants. There might be one Jolene over here to the far left that maybe is a little squished, but for the most part, it missed all of the plants, which is an absolute miracle. So if you can see, there is on the root ball is on one side of the creek, and then the tree fell all the way across and covers the entire back end of the garden. So the goal today is to get it off the grass. We are not even begin to attempt to get it detached from the root ball because it is just an absolute beast back there. So you can hear the boys, they're very excited about this. So essentially anything that's on the grass, we are going to try to, they're going to cut up. They've got the excavator and they are going to remove all of this debris. Now, they have all their safety equipment. They have their ear protection, their eye protection, their head protection, their chaps, all the things. So we're just gonna let them work. We will check back in with them later. So the boys are cutting up the oak tree. So there you go. Now, let's talk about some fun stuff, some plants, because Cece and I are going to have the most fun creating these spring-filled color explosion hay racks that are going to make a beautiful display here at the garden center. Hopefully you'll get some ideas for your own garden. These hay racks are a new addition to the garden center. We got them late summer and installed them in the fall. Cece and I again had a great time planting them, but it is time to go ahead and take out the winter annuals and put in the spring annuals. For those of you that live in the cooler climates, you may be saying, well, you've got pansies and violas. You can leave them in and they'll do great. Yeah, pansies and violas in the south, they are a fall, winter, very early spring crop plant, right? And so with our temperatures going up, they are going out. We cannot save them, y'all. They're annuals, so they're beautiful color. The bees have loved them, but we're getting them out so that we can get our spring annuals in. So these are hay racks from Kinsman Garden Company. It's the exact same hay rack that I have at the house. Underneath our kitchen window. They are huge. I will link it for you, so if you're interested, you can head over to Kinsman and you can purchase them for yourself. But I love them because they're massive. They hold a ton of soil, which is really important when you are creating those containers. So what we're going to do first is we are just going to go ahead and empty them out. We're going to pull the John Deere up to them and empty out the plants. We have a wagon full, literally, and more of annuals that are going to go in. I'm just going to do a quick little preview of them, and then once we get the containers planted, then I will show it to you in depth, and we'll talk about each plant and why we're choosing those plants to go in these hay racks. So here's a little peek scene. We have got Superbells, we have got sweet alyssum, we have got nemesia, we have got the bright lights osteospermums, and we have got, yep, and then more of the Superbells right here. We also have, yeah, there we go. That's what we have. We're gonna have fun. Quick little update here on the tree. So there you go. We've got some stumpery here in the back of the signature garden. If we did not have the equipment that we do, there is no way that they could have gotten what they have gotten done in a very short amount of time. Essentially what they've gotten done is in less than half of a day. So it's absolutely amazing. Now, I did lose 1 or 2 plants in the cleanup process, but overall, it is doing great. Now, they have one more big branch to cut. Let me show you. So there you go. It is all off of the grass. So everything is off the grass. What they're going to do is there was this one limb going up. It looks like a whole separate tree. So they're going to treat it like a tree when they cut it, but it was a branch off of the oak tree. So we're going to get out of the way. And then obviously they have some cleanup to do at the end to get all of the debris off. But yeah, so for the most part, it is all done. They're just trying to, I guess, figure out father-son how the best way to get that massive branch down. So while they're doing that, we're gonna go back to the hay racks. All right, my friends, so the 8 hay racks have been planted. The tree has been successfully cut back, cleaned up, and is good to go for the foreseeable future. Cece is out of here taking the extra plants back up to the production so we can pull from them for other projects. And the plant delivery arrived. So kind of work in reverse a little bit. The plant delivery, we're going to go into great detail about the plants that came on another video. I do want to show you one particular plant that Cece and I were like flabbergasted over. Oh, it's stunning. Let's look at the hay racks first though. Cece and I love working together, and so she did a design and I did a design. Now everybody's been watered, y'all, so they're a little flat, okay? So you're just gonna have to use your imagination, and obviously we're gonna come back and do updates on these guys. So this is the one that Cece did. So she did the guara. This is the petite pink, I believe it is, the Carolee petite pink. So we've got that. Then in front of that, she did the Bright Lights white osteos. Off to the side is the Horizon Sunset Osteo. If you're not doing the Bright Light series of osteospermum African daisies in your spring garden, oh man, you're missing out. They are amazing plants, can handle the cool temperatures wonderfully. Then on each side, she did, this is the lobelia, this is the pearl. I'll have to get all the tags and information for you because my brain is so tired. But this is pearl, right? So it has that beautiful blue, the violet night, sweet alyssum hanging over, Superbells yellow, back to the violet night, tropical sunrise. Look at those Superbells, gorgeous. And then repeats, of course, everything is balanced. So we were focusing on those cool weather annuals. So I too have all the same like genre of plants, but completely different cultivars. So whereas Cece did the pink, I did the stratosphere white, doing two of those. Then we did the nemesia, the aromatis mulberry in here. I did the Bright Lights double moon glow for that lovely soft yellow, and then purple for that really rich purple. I did Blushing Princess. So Blushing Princess will have just that little hue of the pinky purple in there, which ties in beautifully with the Bright Lights purple and my Superbells Blue Moon Punch. Gotta have a pop of color with the Superbells Magic Pink Lemonade, and then back to the alyssum, and then of course everything then repeats. So we have two different designs and 4 baskets of each. And so that way it is just an explosion of pink here. I was joking with Cece, and I said, my design thoughts behind this is if spring just erupted in an explosion, that's what I want. I wanted all the colors. I was not going for a theme of like the soft yellows or the soft pinks. Nope, I want all the color. I think spring is about, we are so tired of coming out of winter, we just want that explosion of color. That is what was going on there. So also, as a side note, if you like my hat, Miss Barb from Pennsylvania sent it to me and got in the mail yesterday. Is this not the cutest thing ever? First of all, great color choice, Miss Barb, because this is High Point purple, so yay for that. Megan loves it. And then it is hand embroidered. Is that not gorgeous? Her daughter started her own company, Vicarella's. I'll link her socials in it. But not only is it cute and sassy, it's also very comfortable. So Miss Barr from Pennsylvania, thank you so much for sending me the gift, and your sweet daughter for making it for me. So I love it. Thank you very much. There you go. They are done. Now everybody is watered in. They got biotone. Of course, we always start using that. Great. We use the Proven Winners potting soil today. Filled it up, biotone, that Proven Winners continuous release fertilizer, all of that, and then water them super, super well because it is dry, it is windy, they need water. So hay racks are done. Check. Now, let me show you some of the plants just real quick. There's one in particular. I'll show you the rest later, but there's one in particular. All right, so this is just a smattering. The sun plants are out right here. Let me find my pathway to get there. Look at the cat's pajamas, Nepeta. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? It is stunning. But what I really wanted to show you, y'all, were these lilac tree forms. This is the Bloomerang purple lilac in a tree form. And when I tell you that they smell divine, they smell absolutely divine. These are the cutest things I have ever seen. Obviously, they are grafted onto some other kind of stock to make them into that tree form, but they are gorgeous. As soon as we got them out, the butterflies were all over them. Oh my goodness. So more details later about the plant delivery, but I just had to show you these lilac trees. Oh, love them. All right, let's go check out the tree. As we're walking, you can see what an absolute difference a day's hard work makes by getting this cleaned up. Hard work and hydraulics. I'm telling you what, there's no way they could have done this job today without the equipment. But man, we have the garden back. Very minimal damage was done to the garden. Got the grass cleaned up. There's a few sticks here and there. Overall, it looks fantastic. We did lose a Cedar Rapids that was, well, we may have lost 2 Cedar Rapids, which, you know, all things considered, it's fine, because we've got 1 right here, and then we had like 2 and 3. So I don't see 2 and 3. That's all right. It's okay. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so there is the tree. Of course, as they were cutting and getting the weight off the top of the tree, Jerry said the tree just kept going up, 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 and up. And you can even see, like when we were here just a little while ago, before they cut that arm off, this piece was jammed into the ground. And by taking that one, quote, arm branch off, it raised it up that much. So you can see really how much it has lifted up off the ground, if you can see that gap in there. So there you go with that. And then this is what the stump and the roots look like going into, yep, there we go. What a mess. So Jerry says that he thinks that they could figure a way to cut it and possibly get it out. Clearly, we are not thinking about doing that today. So as far as I'm concerned, the emergency portion of the tree removal is done. So if nothing else happens to this tree and the removal and the cleanup, then we are doing just fine, and I am a happy gardener. Now, for the sake of time and energy, primarily time, we did not chip and or cut up any of the logs for firewood and mulch. So it is all piled behind the north poles. We absolutely can come back to that if we want to and chip it and cut it up for firewood. It is just called we're in the thick of it in spring, and to actually take the time to chip all of that and cut up the firewood would take days. And that's just something that we just don't have the luxury of having right now. And yeah, so that was the decision that was made. But it was a real life day here at Gardening with Creekside Nursery in Dallas. We would love for you to come see us. Come check out the hay racks. Come check out the gardens. You might notice the gardens, those inner beds, they're empty, aren't they? Yep. Tulips gone. Saturday, they were done. By the afternoon, all we had were little skeletons of tulips. No petals were on there. So we got it all cleaned up. That means we are ready to plant the summer annuals in here. So it is on like Donkey Kong. And so good times here at Creekside. As always, we so appreciate you. Hope you've had a great day, found it fun and informative. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.